Hey, it's Terry with Something Spooky, and in this video we're going to be talking about The Mummy from 2017, which stars Tom Cruise, and specifically how I think the plans and ambitions for the dark universe that it was supposed to be setting up kind of doomed the movie. So this is actually a bit of a follow-up to a video I have on my channel talking about Dracula Untold, and how I think the superhero ambitions and broader universe ambitions also sunk that movie, despite what people try to say about it not being part of the dark universe. You can watch that, and I talk about some of those same things, but it is definitely even more apparent in this movie, which was clearly billed as the Dark Universe from the beginning with the logo, which was, of course, Universal Pictures' attempt to make their own shared cinematic universe along the lines of the MCU, and they were going to have a whole cast of characters. There was that famous picture release that had Tom Cruise and Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, and they were going to bill all of their monsters as individual characters and connect all of their movies in that same shared universe way. So The Mummy was the official launch of it, and it is just completely weighed down and ruined by those ambitions. Because at points, mainly through the first half of the movie, it is okay. It's not good, but it could have been a modern Mummy movie, and it's not too much worse than the kind of Universal sequels we started to see in the 40s. All of the different monster sequels all kind of gradually declined, and if this was just the first half of that, it would have been okay. It would have been in that line. But what happens about midway through the movie, and there will be some spoilers from here on in the video, it is what really sinks the movie for me. Because I was going along, I was enjoying the first half of the movie. You kind of like the cast, okay. There's of course a lot of controversy around Tom Cruise. I feel like he does an okay job. I feel like the acting is not his problem. Listening to some of the special features and hearing about his involvement with the creative process, I think Tom Cruise more sunk the movie probably with being overbearing in a creative sense, but his acting is fine. And I think the biggest problem really as far as him being in the movie goes is just that he's too well known. He's one of those people you can't kind of separate from. So him being so front and center is a bit of a problem for this thing that's just starting out and trying to establish all of these different things, because you're kind of just overloaded with Tom Cruise. But he does an okay job. Jake Johnson I actually really like. I think he's funny, and they make a pretty good pair as a buddy dynamic. And Sofia Boutella as the Mummy does a pretty good job. I like it. I like the idea of having the female mummy. It's pretty cool, and they do some interesting things with it. Maybe a bit over reliance on the kissing mechanic. That seems kind of stupid, but overall I have no problems with all of that. The first half of the movie has some cool mummy scenes. There are some good, like the first time you really see the mummy in this movie and some of the things going on around her, it's probably like the best scene in the dark universe between these two movies for me. I actually kind of like that. There are a few classic mummy scenes following that where she's using her powers, which usually has to do with like zombies and rats. There's some good mummy monster mayhem through the first half, and like I said, if it was just that movie, it still wouldn't have been very good, but it would have been okay. Then halfway through, and this is when we start to get into the real spoilers, you're hit with the big swerve with Russell Crowe, and it introduces all of the dark universe stuff, and you can just feel it, totally switching gears to prime all of that. We're introduced to Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll. We kind of learn about, we can see where this is going already. Anybody who has watched shared universe movies before can see them starting to just really transparently put these pieces together. And finally, at the very end, and this is going to be pure spoiler, the whole angle setting up Tom Cruise as like the new hero mummy is just gag-inducing to me. It's so transparent and bad in trying to make this the kickoff to something that they were totally overconfident in, clearly, because it's not happening. And it kind of sinks this movie, which was already going to be not very great. It made a bad movie worse, but at least it would have just been another entry, another modern attempt at the Mummy. It could have been a fun action movie with Tom Cruise, but instead they get it all bogged down in all of their dark universe ambitions, trying to make this big shared universe that isn't really natural to these characters in this hero way that they want to do it. And the real cringe ending for me with Russell Crowe, where he's giving the kind of Batman monologue as Tom Cruise rides around all heroically as the Mummy. It's so bad, and that is just the epitome of everything that is wrong with the dark universe in the first place. Watching the special features It's interesting because the director Kurtzman seems to know movie monster history and really have an appreciation for it. And so I kind of hate bagging on this so much. It seems like his heart was in the right place, but I think it's a case where he was just like overwhelmed by the machine between Universal, pushing their vision of wanting to have these characters be heroes in this big shared universe, because they have these properties that they think they can just cash in on in line with the Marvel craze. And then probably having Tom Cruise on the set, listening to those special features and how involved he is with the making of the movie. And I think so Kurtzman probably just got overwhelmed. I almost don't blame him. It seems like he had some good ideas for why he wanted to do this and what he wanted to do with it. But it is just an epitome of something being forced into a type that it really doesn't fit, just to make some kind of Hollywood, executive happy and make all of these movies fit together in this modern sense that really isn't inherent to their nature and what these characters are and should be. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give it a like and follow Something Spooky for more. Thanks.